I want to take this time to talk about one of the most delightful but stressful gaming experiences I've ever played. That one game is Catherine Full Body. Here I will talk about why this game is truly a unique, one of its kind gaming experience and why I feel like this game stands out more than other games. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, I will highly appreciate it. Now let's go further into the nightmare. Developed by the legendary creators behind the Persona series, Atlus, Catherine Full Body is a unique mix of narrative-driven, relationship drama, and challenging puzzle platforming. It blends romantic dilemmas and supernatural horror. The story follows Vincent Brooks, a 32-year-old man who finds himself in a moral and emotional crisis. He's been in a long-term relationship with his girlfriend, Catherine with a K, who wears the black outfit with glasses and beige hair. You see that Catherine is trying to get Vincent to settle down with her after having a 5-year relationship. Suddenly, Vincent, who is a regular at the Stray Sheep bar, meets a mysterious woman who is also named Catherine, this time with a C. They have a minor interaction, and then later that night you see that Vincent wakes up next to this Catherine, having no memory of what happened, and further things get even more complicated with the introduction of the new character, Ren Catherine with a Q, who in this game Catherine Full Body, it now adds a new romantic possibility. And in Catherine Full Body, in order to know if you're making the right decisions, the game tracks your choices through a red and blue meter that represents Vincent's moral alignment. The blue, which represents commitment, which is basically Catherine with a K, your actual girlfriend route. The red, which represents chaos, this basically shows that you're making irrational choices and will end up with the Catherine with a C. And there's also a middle, which will open up the Catherine with a Q route. You will see yourself playing in a mix of gameplay where one will be during the night at the Stray Sheep bar, where you see yourself interacting with your friends and also a range of different people you meet along the way, who all have their own stories to tell and have similar nightmares like you. And almost every decision you make in this game matters, especially when it comes to the dialogue and text messages you will receive from each of the Catherines. So you really had to play with caution. If you do not want to make any mistakes and want the perfect ending, you gotta really play with caution. During the beginning, while spending time at the Stray Sheep, you hear rumors regarding that if you die in the nightmares, you will die in real life. And I mean, come on, imagine you being in Vincent's shoes and hearing these type of superstitions. You wouldn't believe anything. Now, focusing more on the nightmare part of the gameplay, you're trapped and nowhere to go. You have no choice but to climb. As you enter the nightmare, you see yourself roaming around a church-like space. And in this church-like space, you can interact with sheeps. As you enter dialogue with each of the sheeps, you will notice that these are actually real people who are trapped in a nightmare just like you. And talking to each of these sheeps matters because you are the positive influence to these sheeps. As you keep climbing and completing stages, they will see you as the goat of climbing. And as you progress in interacting with these sheeps will now give you more techniques and strategies on how to get better with moving the blocks. Your success influences the surrounding sheeps, that it is possible to escape the nightmare safe and sound. And if you do not talk to these sheeps, there will be consequences. And you will see them die before your own eyes. Before entering the next nightmare stage, Vincent sits in the confessional booth. A mysterious voice asks him in a range of questions, often theoretical or personal in nature questions. Depending on how you answer, it will affect Vincent's moral alignment meter. Some of these questions can just make you think and wonder because a lot of these questions hit a little too close to home, and you can answer them based on your own personal thoughts or answer them based on gameplay decisions. But I personally feel like if you are just going through your first playthrough, I would answer these questions with your own personal thoughts, just to make the game experience a little more interactive. Some examples of these questions will be, do you prefer an older or younger partner? Or another example will be, can money buy you love? These are some of the many examples that the mysterious figure will ask. Now that you have an idea of what Catherine Full Body delivers, I just want to talk about my overall experience with playing this game. Now, like I said, this has to be one of the most challenging games I've ever played. I did happen to get the platinum trophy after all the rage, the stress, and last minute decisions I had to make in order to reach for the platinum trophy. This game has multiple endings, and all of the endings have different outcomes. And when I say multiple endings, I mean more than 10. So whatever way you're playing the game, you may end up with one of these endings. Babel was one of the most frustrating parts that I've encountered because these are all based on skills, and every single time you restart the Babel stage, it will change its puzzle layout. So it's kind of like playing a roguelike puzzle, and I happen to be Babel by controlling two controls at the same time. Not that it makes it easier, but it does make the experience a little bit more quicker. Compared to when you do it by yourself, you will have to climb so many blocks in order to reach the final checkpoint. Now, one of the main things that I love with my experience when I was playing this game was just the fact that, like I previously brought up, every decision that you make in this game matters. Every single person that you interact with has a purpose, and based on how you interact with these people can determine their own choices that can lead to them either living or dying. And I love that. This game really gives you the freedom to make your own choices, so you could play the game how you want to play it. If I want to just be a faithful, honest person, I could make every right decision that I feel like is right to lead to that path. If I want to play the game making mixed choices and entertaining the other Catherines, I can do just that. If I want to be a straight up asshole and just skip text messages and calls from the main Catherine and go with the seductive Catherine, I can do that. Every choice you make in this game matters, and that's what I love. It makes the gameplay experience so much more enjoyable. That's one of the major reasons why I really enjoyed my experience playing this game. There's also the puzzles. The more you fail, the more you start to pick up on your mistakes, and the more you start picking up on the pattern recognitions for each of the stages. And this is what happened to me. I started to pick up on these patterns, and I started to become a master at remembering each of these puzzles and the stages. Now, the last thing that I can talk about this game is how this game can be relatable to real life instances, and how it teaches you a thing or two or a lesson in life. I'm pretty sure a lot of men have probably been under Vincent's shoes as far as being in a committed relationship or going through a midlife crisis, or just making wise choices accordingly. When you go to a local bar occasionally, you tend to see the same faces, the same people. All of these people have different personalities, different stories, and different lifestyles. And 9 times out of the 10, you are going to make friends with either one of them. Most of these people can age range from the ages 21 through 60, and every single one of these people you interact with have a story to tell of some sorts. And these people come to the bar for a variety of reasons, whether it's for making connections, buying drinks, or just trying to meet a woman who could please them by the end of the night. It's the same thing for Vincent. He goes to the Stray Sheep at night to interact with his friends, drink, and meet a variety of people. It's kind of like his guilty pleasure to get away from reality. I also feel like this game really teaches you a lesson, that your actions have consequences. And based on your actions, it could really all catch up to you at the end. And in life, there can be times where your brain can fall for temptation. So make sure you act accordingly. And as my personal relatable experiences when playing this game, it can hit a little close to home, like I said before, because me, myself, I have many experiences where I personally have dealt with temptations. And I'm kind of the one who likes to play with fire and uncovering mysteries behind a mysterious person. But that's really much I gotta say about Catherine Full Body. I feel like a lot of people would look at Catherine and get turned off by the gameplay style of it, especially with the puzzles and everything. Not everyone is a fan of puzzles, so I feel like a lot of people would look at this game and be like, oh, that's not my type of game, like I wouldn't want to play it. But I feel like the game deserves a little bit more love, and I wish it could receive a sequel. But that's basically all I gotta say. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I would highly appreciate it. My name is Sam Maddock, and I'll see you guys in the next video.